Loud and clear. We can see you too.
Awesome.
Yeah, we can also see.
All right. Welcome, everyone. All right. Well, welcome, everyone. We're excited to kick off the Prepare for VC Breakthrough Summit today, and appreciate all of you joining to celebrate all the startups we've been working with and that are graduating today. So let's give a round of applause to all the companies. Yeah, everybody's done a great job in our program. Like, we've been really proud to work with them and support them over the last 10 weeks. And we did purposely plan this the day after the TechCrunch conference down the street. So make it easy for everybody to join us today. So what's the Breakthrough Summit? It's where startups stop performing and start building trust. It's their place to share, build connections. We have a great community that came out to here to support us and get to meet all the companies today and get to meet each other. So yeah, we're prepared for VC with our programming, resources, and support. We also run the Startup Grind Boston chapter. One of the organizers of Startup Grind Boston, with events around the city, as well as part of our Boston New Technology team with different meetups, events, everything from hackathons to startup showcases and pitch events. And then we have great partners like Tech Superpowers and Hassan, who hosted us today. Greenberg Touring and TLM, who helped sponsor the event and opportunities for everyone. I'm going to get to have them come up and give quick intros in a couple minutes. But yeah, really, what are we going to do? We're going to celebrate everyone today. We're going to celebrate resilience, showcase traction, connect founders with mentors, investors, partners, people looking to join teams and help support each of these companies. So we have food over there. If you didn't get a chance to grab it, you can go and grab more throughout the event. We're going to do program, partner, and sponsor intros, growth stories, and then the pitches. So you'll get to hear from each of the 10 companies. 7 will be live. We have some on Zoom as well. And yeah, it's not. There'll be pitches. We're going to kick off with a little bit of story as well and Q&A, so everybody has a chance to ask their questions and get to know each of the companies better. Walk through the agenda there. So yeah, we'll go, and then what the connection corner is after all the pitches, we're going to have everybody spread out, and whoever you resonated with the most, go ahead and you can pick who you want to chat with, connect with further, and yeah, make meaningful connections there. So what is Prepare for VC in the first place, and our breakthrough engine? So we started more as a service organization. That was, my background's in the venture space. Our team, Chris is a serial entrepreneur and has coached at different programs that like BU and other programs, and Steve is also a serial entrepreneur, connector, and more of the community builder and ecosystem builder. And so we started more on the one-on-one side, like how can we help support founders in a meaningful way. Then built out back in 2020, we launched our first program that started as the Prepare for VC Accelerator. Now it's the Breakthrough Program, because it's less about speed and more about what we call breakthroughs. It's like those moments when something finally clicks, and it could be your go-to-market strategy, the way you talk about your business, the way you pitch to investors or customers. There's some moment that every single one of our founders in this program faced where things were moving in a really positive direction, and now they're able to carry that beyond the program. So we're developing the system as well where we can use more data and insights from all of the meetings, all of the interactions we've had, their own personal stories to figure out who to connect them with and how to help even more beyond the programs as well. And so what do we look for and what do we build this program around? 3 pillars we feel like are the key metrics for startup success. That's the founders and the team, first and foremost. Our model and philosophy is there's going to be plenty of people competing in every space and industry, but it's really about the people behind them that make the business thrive and succeed. So, we're focused on everything from the EQ side, self-efficacy, situational awareness, clarity, to, really developing yourselves as leaders. And, whether you have one person on your team, 3, 5 people, that's going to scale along the way. And being the founders and leaders that can, continue the vision and get other people as excited as they are. Execution metrics, so proving and tracking tangible growth throughout the program with clear goals and milestones, and putting it out there and even just putting it on paper helps you get to those goals even faster and more effectively. And then market timing and analysis. So there's always luck involved in every venture, but the more we can understand what's behind that and what's going on in the market right now, or what makes your business possible that wasn't possible 3 years ago or 5 years ago, the more understanding of that we can unlock, the easier it is to figure out your pathway and when to pivot moving forward, or if you need to pivot. What is our system? So we actually tracked scoring. We scored every founder throughout the program, and these all started much lower than their current scores, and everybody did an amazing job really getting breakthrough ready by the end of it. So, this includes self-efficacy. That's like understanding that there's things it's really uncovering all the unknowns. So, there's going to be roadblocks and challenges that come up along the way, but knowing you either have already heard how to figure it out, or who to turn to, and that things are going to be an issue you have to solve for later, and you're already planning them rather than being completely blindsided by new problems that come your way. Situational awareness is being able to adapt to any situation that comes your way. Even having conversations with different styles of different personas, different people you meet, and figuring out how to interact and make a win-win situation for everyone, if there is one. And then clarity is knowing who you are, where you're going, why this is your purpose and mission, and how you get other people as excited as you are for it. These are all the founders you're going to be hearing from today. And yeah, we had an amazing cohort. So our focus has always been, it's supporting tech entrepreneurs. They're all pre-seed stage, MVP plus companies you're going to be hearing from. But we actually like that we have a lot of different sectors and areas they're focused on, because it made it so everybody is sharing like something that works in in gov tech that can help med tech, the med tech space, or the education technologies. Like, we're applying lessons from different industries and sectors that can help each other out. And this has been one of our most connected cohorts, where they're all jumping on calls themselves and figuring out how they can help each other out throughout the program beyond what we're teaching them. So here I want to bring up some of our sponsors and partners. So I'll start with Edgar from Tech Superpowers, and yeah, really appreciate you guys here.
Hey guys, sorry. I'm Edgar. This is Adam. We're with Tech Superpowers. Superpowers. We are a IT and cybersecurity company based in Boston, actually, in this building. We've been around a little bit over 30 years and really focus on startups and scale-ups. So we really understand the pain points and roadblocks we're running into. So if you have any questions, please feel free to come up to either of us, but I'm going to pass it on to Adam.
Hey, I'm the CTO here at TSP. As Andrew mentioned, we're here to reduce anxiety. So you have enough that you're focusing on as founders, as operators, to keep your organizations moving. We're here to just take a little bit of that off your plate around, again, onboarding, help desk, computer setups, but also a lot around your cybersecurity journey. This is the time for you to start thinking about it if you're not already. If you have questions, we're here. But again, thank you so much. We're excited to be able to meet all of you.
Perfect, thank you. And excited to bring up Rob from Hussein, who helped host us in this space as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jason. Thank you. It's good to see you all, and I'll say right off the bat, you did exactly the same thing a lot of people do. Our company is pronounced Haseen. We're named after our founder, and so this is what happens sometimes when you name after your founder. It gives you an opportunity to reintroduce the company. But welcome to this space. This is our events and innovation space, for lack of a better word. We are actually mostly located just down the hall. We're architects and designers. The other kind of architects, the ones that actually deal with building and space, not computer architects. And we basically came into this space because the group that was in here was actually a startup that didn't make it. So don't let that happen to you guys. But we love this idea that it's a wide open space where we can come in here with our clients and really think about the blue sky, thinking about what we're going to do and design for them. We have architects, we have interior designers, and we also have visual identity designers for doing logos and identity and websites, that kind of thing. So we like to go soup to nuts with our teams on design. We tend not to work with too many startups because you guys are really focused elsewhere right now. But later, once you're doing well, please give us a call. We love to work with innovative people who have a vision for our space, who want to do something really creative. The last thing I'll say before I get out of your way is I went to MIT, so I kind of get it. So.
Sounds good. Thank you. Let's allow Josh from Greenberg Touring, who's one of our sponsors as well.
First off, congratulations to all the founders and ventures. I know it's not easy, so good for you guys. Thank you to Jason for the opportunity to work with you and your team and with a number of the ventures over the last few months. I and the Greenberg Chart team appreciate and value our relationship with you and appreciate today's opportunity to talk briefly about the work that we do with early stage ventures. For those of you who've not had the chance to work with, my name is Josh Rudowitz. I'm an attorney at the global law firm of Greenberg Traurig, where I'm a member of the Venture Capital and Emerging Technology practice. Our practice group includes roughly 120 attorneys in 20 plus offices across the globe. I'm personally based in our Boston office, and as a former U.S. patent examiner, where I spent 7 years before transitioning to private practice, I work with my clients to protect their innovations, identify strategic opportunities, to help you guys monetize your technology. We work with numerous startups, including those involved with various incubators and accelerators in the Boston area and across the US. We understand that each startup, is unique and may be at different points along their commercialization pathway. So we've put in place a flexible structure that can meet your goals and legal needs in addition to your financial obligations. We have different teams in place to help address all your various legal needs for each venture, whether it be incorporation, financing, intellectual property, labor, employment, government, tax, regulatory, etc. And we know that those legal needs will evolve over time, and we're here to help you try to pinpoint those before they become an issue. To help early stage ventures be positioned for success, we typically work with founders to understand your business goals, because I think that's an important piece to providing legal advice. Especially understanding where you are now and where you'd like to end up with your venture. This can include providing necessary documents that we can try to create sort of generic forms that you can reuse, whether it's agreements and things along those lines, employment agreements and things along those lines, so you're not coming to us each time, hopefully saving you guys some money. We also work with founders to create a roadmap of legal work that will need to get done, when it needs to get done, and we're going to work with you to understand what risks may arise as you proceed through your journey. That way, action items or work can be completed in a way that makes sense for you and for the legal requirements out there. I'll be available during the event if you have any questions and like to have a conversation. But thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Perfect. And then, I'd like to call up Robbie as well from TLM, who's our sponsor today and new developer in residence for Prepare for VC.
Cool. Thank you. Everyone, hello everyone. Thank you so much for having us as a partner. We met a couple of months back, and then they invited me to be part of the startup mission as a mentor, and I saw how great they were with startups and scale-ups and the way they invested themselves in helping those founders. So that was what was really important for me, and this is why we decided to get partnership. So thank you very much for being who you are. TLM, very simply, we are a software development team that helps non-technical founders build tech companies. So we help doctors, mechanics, finance people to build tech companies, and we've been doing that for many years. We work with customers in Hong Kong, New York, Montreal, Toronto, Paris, so a bit worldwide. And we do a lot of med tech and IoT and health tech stuff. So that's what we do. But I want to talk to what I can do for you today, and that's important. So I've been in that space for over 20 years. I coach and mentor over 15 to 20 companies weekly. I talk with startups and hear about their plans, over 100 to 150 startups every year. And what I can do for you as an organization is, if you want to understand your product market fit, how do I build the right product for the market? How do I pivot? How do I build a great business model? How do I start that company? What's the path to growth or what's the path to scale? This is what I do. And this is how I help people. Of course, I always have a technical perspective, but I'm also an investor. I'm a business angel invested in now nearly over 20 years. We're at 19 investments now that we've done as a business angel. But I also sit on funds where we're the funds of funds. So we help fund other funds through other engagements I have. So I have a really good understanding of also the VC path. So the other thing you can come and discuss is which path is good for you, because not all should go through VC, not all should be bootstrap. So if anybody wants to take some time, do it. You have the opportunity. I'm there. You come see me. I provide my contact very easily, or ask Jason. And remember, as founders, the biggest challenge you have is to seize every opportunity you can get to grow your business. So it's your job to get those opportunities, and for that, there's a lot of mentors that are already there. There's a lot of partners that can help you. So don't hesitate to go forward and talk to them. Thank you again very much.
Thank you. And so we had an amazing group. A lot of them are in the room here today, of facilitators, mentors, expert contributors. I'll give a special shout out to Steve, who spent, I don't want to count how many hours on office hours with everyone in the program, and really made sure that every startup had the opportunity to succeed here. He's one of our lead facilitators. Chris as well, who implemented all of the EQ and personal side communication strategy, negotiation strategy, that really became a center point of our program as well, and led sessions with us. We have everyone from product development, branding experts, community building, investor readiness, revenue strategy. We tried to cover all the essentials and have a really diverse crowd that could give their perspectives and help these startups come from where they are to where they want to go here. And with that, Okay, so yeah, there we go. Yeah, we're about to get into the pitches. First, I wanted to just share a little bit of who's here today: founders, entrepreneurs, investors, service providers, media, students, and other community members. And get to do a quick get to know you. I want to hear. So we have three core personas we go into in the program. The churner, those are those people that are more analytical. When you're listening to the pitches, you're probably going to be thinking of comparing against other competitors or thinking through how this actually works. The charmer is probably going to be listening and thinking thinking they want to get to know the team, the people behind the business, and is really focused on the communication, maybe even the marketing side of it. The challenger is going to be thinking, how do we push the boundaries, and is this super disruptive for an industry, and what can this change in the future? So does anybody here resonate with more of the churner persona? Quick show of hands. Oh yeah, we got some hands back there. What about the charmer? Yep, got some charmers around the room. How about the challenger? Definitely got some challengers as well. Awesome. Yeah, really good mix. And you can use that to, we teach the cohort to use that to figure out, how do you help your message come across in the best way to the people that you're speaking with. And now we'll get right into the pitches. So we're going to do a quick question, like warm up as they come to the stage. We'll go into a 5-minute pitch and then 5 minutes of Q&A with the audience. And first up, we're going to have Nick from Rarebit. Perfect. So Nick, as you take the stage here, tell us a little bit about your breakthrough journey. Like, where were you? We started the program back in May. Yeah. Now it's middle of July.
Well, let's see. we're a AI medtech company. We had a set of back-end tools for our consultancy practice, and they worked really well. We developed them over about a year and a half to help medical device manufacturers fix problems. And we're using them on the back end. We decided, hey, what if we combine this with a front end? And we sold it as B2B SaaS. So actually doing that was a bit of a challenge. So we hooked up with Jason and Steve at DC. Been working with them on the last 3 months to do that, and it's been fantastic.
Perfect. And excited to have you share your story. Just use the down button to change the slides and take it away.
Right. So how do you build $1 billion unicorn in 2025? So obviously it's AI. But so what? Everyone's doing AI. What I would do is I would find a set of obscure business processes, obscure, complicated, but important and lucrative. So if you did this, you could take world-class subject matter expert. You could combine subject matter expertise. You could combine it with world-class AI engineering. You could combine that with world-class data science. And you would have that little domain of automated AI processes all to yourself. If you did this, it would be a very good value proposition. You're not doing another fintech AI startup. You're not doing another real estate startup. You're not doing another sales or customer support startup. You have this obscure, valuable thing all to yourself. So I'm Nick Ward. I'm a medical device expert, and we are Rarebit AI. So we solve medical device QMS forever. So what is quality management system, QMS? It's a set of 10,000 different records that a medical device manufacturer uses to make and legally sell a medical device in the United States. It's things like the incoming raw material inspection going into the factory. It's the records of quality testing when you assemble it into the product. It's records of failure of the product in the field. These are really important. For example, I have clients who make ventilators. The ventilator is connected to the mask and the machine by a little plastic connecting tube. If a supplier changes the plastic mix, and if no one notices, no one does the risk assessment, no one does validation of that change, then the mask will fall off in the ICU. The connection will break in the ICU. People will suffocate. This really happens. So these problems are repetitive, and they happen again and again in every company I go to and audit in my consulting practice. It would be very easy to fix with the right set of software tools. It would be very easy for a robot to do this. It's hard for people to do it because there are so many records, because they're so complicated. It's huge, it's hard, expensive. No one does QMS well. The result is recalls, medical device recalls, injuries, deaths, billions lost. So the current response is highly manual. You have 250,000 complaint records, for example, sitting in the Salesforce database. And every year you get 100,000 more. And you have 10 people working on that. You're supposed to investigate them all. It doesn't get done. As a result, there are deaths and injuries, recalls. What do we do about that? So I built a set of AI QMS tools. We took a series of LLMs, reasoning models, instruction following models. We fine-tuned them. We did RAG on them, and we had them ingest hundreds of thousands of medical device production records, quality management system records. We broke them down, we synthesized them, in some cases repaired them. We took these human-made records and fixed mistakes. And in the end, we can identify the problems that are going to cost billions, that are going to hurt people, they're going to kill people, and we can fix them. It works. We've been using it in our consultancy practice for about a year now. We have the front end ready to go. We have combined it with the back end, and it is B2B SaaS. So the go-to-market strategy. In our consultancy, we have lots of industry connections. Mid to medium size, mid to large size medical device and life sciences companies, drug manufacturers, biotech. These have lots of different product portfolio families, lots of verticals within their companies. So we will talk to the people we know in these companies, people we work with, and we will have a land and expand strategy. So we get the medical device division, or one facility of the medical device division that makes one type of medical device as our customer. And we will branch out to the other verticals, to the life sciences, to the pharma, to those facilities, those other divisions. And we will slowly build this up to a $1 billion unicorn. So timelines and milestones. We have traction. We recently won the Boston Startup Weekend Hackathon with a version of this product. We got our first B2B customer. We have been engaging with FDA. This device, this software doesn't need FDA approval, but we can get it if we want. If we do, it's going to be a huge commercial advantage. That's the moat. You know, no one else is going to be able to get this approved, and they won't try because they don't have to market it. But we can do it very easily because it's what we do professionally. Competition, there are other people looking at this. Medical devices is a conservative industry. It's smaller than pharma. Usually, if you want to do something like this, you would go to pharma or biotech first. So we kind of have medical device to ourselves. There are a couple of people looking at medical device specifically, but they're also looking at, you know, the other related industries. Recently, a company called Colate out of Y Combinator raised $30 million to automate all life science, pharma, tech, med tech paperwork. That's too broad an approach, right? You got to narrow it down. You got to focus on a specific set of processes that you can do really well. So there's a lot of activity in this space, a lot of interest. Another advantage of this is that this kind of software development is cheap. You don't need that much to do this. I would like to raise $675,000 in safes or a small priced seed round. And with that, we will go from getting enterprise customers one by one from my client list at my consultancy to exponential growth. So I need sales support, I need more servers. I want to reinforce our already excellent patent portfolio. Cheap, fast. So we did a couple case studies. There are some of these processes we want to do that we can completely automate with AI tools. You could take a team of 6 people working on some aspects of complaint records, and you can replace them all with tools. For other more complicated, better processes, it would be a mix of tools and people, right? So we could take a team of 10 people doing post-market surveillance or something, and replace that with 3 people and tools. So excellent savings, up to 91% savings over the traditional way of doing this. The team is world-class. Me, Nick Ward, I'm the regulatory guy. My AI engineer, Marty, he's my technical co-founder, full-time technical vendor doing the AI work. And Dimitri, he's former Caltech, former Google AI, PhD. He's done projects like this at Walmart before with older types of AI technology, the old algorithm approach, focused on loss prevention. So there's prior work, we can build on that, we can mark this down. Advisors, Jack Ward, he is the expert in medical device software validation. It's a very specialized field. He writes the textbooks, he teaches the classes in it. We have senior executives as our advisors also. So thank you. Appendices, questions? Yeah.
Oh. Great question. Yeah, Mark.
Question comes to my mind is that in terms of the model, the data they use to train the model. So the data itself comes from FDA, those are filed and those public disclosed information, correct?
So you don't train the model, you fine tune it, or you could maybe use like RAG or something like that. Training is too much work. But we did use real data to build this. We partnered with our partners in the industry, my clients and my consulting practice. So we built this together with, for example, a $2 billion life sciences company using their actual data. The FDA data would not be useful for this, but there is some. So you have to get data from industry for this.
Gotcha. So in this case, you work with the industry partner. Does that industry partner allow you to using the data that find for third party for another different entity?
Yeah, that was consulting work, and the agreements we have with our consulting partners give us rights to the output of that consulting work. So yes, we own the work generated from using that data to build the service. We don't own the data itself, the tools we made with it.
Some of the numbers under the 675. Is it supposed to give you runway for how long?
9 months runway.
9 months, okay.
And I think if I do this, I won't need a Series A, right? Like if I can do this, I can exponentially accelerate customer acquisition. Yeah. So what's going to happen in AI is companies will automate small sets of processes, right? Like sales processes, QMS processes, manufacturing processes. In 3 or 4 years, there's going to be consolidation. The different small companies in the same vertical are going to buy each other up. Then there's going to be conglomeration. Different verticals will start buying each other up. then there's going to be $1 million winner or several of them. So if I do this, I will buy up the other people in the medical device space. There aren't many of them. They're not very good. Then we will buy up pharma AI tools. And we will buy up other verticals like that. And we will consolidate and own this particular type of AI when the consolidation begins. These tools also work for the other regulated industries. So pharma, food, nuclear, those also have QMS. It's slightly different from medical device QMS, right? But by doing this for medical devices where we have subject matter expertise, we are also doing it for these other industries. So branch out, build up, $1 billion.
Okay, back. One thought I had is like if you have $300,000 of saving and $2 billion top line, for example, that's not like a big problem for the company, right? And not maybe a big incentive to take a bet on you. Have you looked into how much better it would be than having to do it?
Yeah, it is better. We took actual data and we ingested them with the tools. We went back to the initial customer contact. So like the email that came in that initiated the complaint record or the transcript of the call. And then the person filled out the form wrong. So the investigation was flawed. But we went back to the original data, we broke that down with the tool and we repaired the flawed complaint record. People can't do this because there's so many, you have to do it one by one, you have to re-listen each incoming call. The machine does it very well.
Is there a way to translate it into savings? Like savings here?
So you could automate part of it. So you would reduce headcount. You could improve the complaint investigation. So the FDA wouldn't shut your production line down if there was a high profile failure. You would reduce recalls. You would reduce failures of product in the field. So there are direct and less direct metrics you can attach to this, yes.
The numbers that you were, maybe this time to understand, the numbers that you were showing for towns and so, are they worldwide, are they North America?
That's worldwide for medical devices specifically. If you start adding the other verticals, we start getting to silly numbers. I would support much higher numbers than that, but I would more conservative medical devices worldwide.
Perfect. Great job.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Aria from Jabo. Oh, sure. And yeah, as I'm pulling this up, Aria, would love to have you share your. Sorry about that. Yeah, if you can multitask here, give us a quick story of where you were 10 weeks ago and where you are now.
Yeah, so 10 weeks ago, I had just finished my 4th year at Tufts, and I was thinking about what I was going to do next and how I'm going to spend the summer. And I met Steve and Jason actually at one of the pitch practices on the Thursday, and they invited me to join the cohort to accelerate our founding patient cohort. So we started with 6 patients and working through the process of building the platform up from there. So what you will see is just the results from all of that. And you go to the Canva.
Let me try again.
It's just being really slow. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Cool.
You got that. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you for your patience. Hi everyone, my name is Arya and I'm the founder of Jadewell. We are making Chinese herbal medicine more affordable for chronic condition patients. So this all started with my partner. Oh, this is not working. Oh. Okay, this all started with my partner. He has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a connective tissue disorder that cascades into many chronic conditions, chronic fatigue, chronic pain, dysautonomia, things that just ruin his day-to-day energy levels and his day-to-day productivity. He takes more than 10 prescriptions every single day, and they don't always alleviate his symptoms. I grew up with traditional Chinese medicine, and I saw how it works in conjunction with Western pharmaceuticals. After he took this for about 2 weeks, his energy levels increased, he was saving more time and taking back control of his life, that his symptoms were holding him hostage. But he is not the only person with these chronic conditions that is taking himself hostage. More than 150 million people in the US have chronic pain, fatigue, mood disorders, things that take control of people's times, bodies, and energy. 70% of this population report that their prescription medicine do not alleviate their symptoms on a day-to-day basis. They waste more than $2,000 every single year in this trial and error prescriptions that don't alleviate their symptoms. What we do is we help patients access affordable traditional Chinese medicine herbs. They onboard and have real-time face-to-face with our licensed practitioners. Their prescriptions are compounded by us and conveniently delivered directly to their door, and they work with our practitioners and their physicians to help them complement their treatments in order to help alleviate their symptoms through holistic medicine and Western pharmaceuticals. This is not another telemedicine platform where we are ping-ponging patients from specialist to specialist. We are looking for patients that are coveting for care, that actually listens to them, that is integrating their perspective and their feelings, not just what their medical history questionnaire says. Patients are looking for care that doesn't constantly remind them that they're sick or broken without the medicine that they cannot afford. And we are not just healing and aligning our patients' bodies through thousands of years of case studies, we are returning dignity and control back to our patients. This is my friend Atira. She started using, before she started using Jadewell, she was a cystic acne patient. She tried hormonal birth control, Accutane, nothing's ever worked. Topical treatments for 3 years, nothing's ever worked. Her self-esteem dropped, depressed, thousands of dollars wasted on makeup because of this cystic acne condition that she just could not find the Western pharmaceuticals for. 1 week after using Jadewell, no flare-ups during her entire menstrual cycle. She had less stubborn pimples that don't sting. She felt more confident, and she stopped wearing makeup even when she went to a festival. And this was within 1 week. We're taking what already exists, where 75% of health centers in China have a traditional Chinese medicine department along with their Western pharmaceutical care. We're leveling the playing field for our patients here in America. 30,000 licensed practitioners already exist in the States, and we are allowing to personalize our patient care by improving access to these practitioners. And we use FDA-regulated, GMP, FMSA, compliant, controlled herbal medicine, so our patients live at ease, knowing where their ingredients are coming from, and all of this is easily packaged with a click of a button on our website. The market opportunity is huge. There is a CAGR nearly of $50 billion in the next 10 years. We are actually targeting specifically chronic conditions first in New England and scaling to the entire herbal need community in the States. There is an interest, a yearning, a call for more holistic medicine that is not just based on what this licensed online herbal practitioner is saying, but on thousands of years of case studies where other countries in the world are using these practices along with physicians. We started primary market research of 200 chronic condition patients to see, is this something even that people would want? 93% reported that they would trust a TCM herb practitioner through an online consultation. 68% report they prefer natural remedies before seeking a doctor, and 50% reported that they would use our Jadewell 3-month prescription plan. But it's not just from me. This is what our founding patient cohort has to say about our program. These are 6 patients for the past 3 months that have helped us build out this platform, the patient experience, because we are not only listening to what the patient experience is, but we are constantly reforming and improving upon ourselves as we begin to launch to more people. They are saying that the practitioner that they met with is the first person out of an entire life where they're actually listening to them, listening to their story, listening to their pain points. They feel like the TCM is genuinely making them heal faster, but not only that, they're taking back time and energy in their life. So our next milestone is a crowdfunding of 100K, and we are a bright team of scientists, but also people who are empathetic on medical care. I'm a 2x founder. I have publications, but also most importantly, I have patient care experience. My advisors both work in biomedical sciences, are startup venture advisors, and have 20 plus years of experience in delivering Chinese medicine. Thank you. The new normal is chronic condition patients feel heard, they feel empowered, but most importantly, they're taking back control of their body. If you are interested or know someone who is looking for care in traditional Chinese medicine, want to afford it,
Yeah. I have a question. How do you ensure that the Chinese medicines can be safely incorporated into their Western treatment today?
Yeah. So our practitioners are licensed through the NCAAOM, which is the only operating body of traditional Chinese medicine practitioners. So they go through an intense amount of schooling, but on top of that, they also have to take herbal medicine certification education. So with that, our practitioners, when they are before their first appointment, they do a medical questionnaire, and then they actually do an in-time 30-minute patient appointment. So they're not only like reading information, and this is not like ZocDoc or Hayes or Curology where you're not like actually talking to a practitioner, or like not talking to a practitioner, just like instant messaging them. You're actually having like a real-time conversation. And then you have a follow-up appointment that's 15 minutes, and you're still talking to them. So a lot of it has to do with information transfer, and also knowing the practitioners are vetted. They have previous telemedicine experience, and they've also worked specifically with patients with that condition before. So they also have previous experience of how herbs may interact with different pharmaceuticals.
Is there a way to like link like the traditional Chinese medicine physicians are like their assessments what treatments they're prescribing people with like maybe the underlying record system that their Western medicine physicians are using so that they
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's actually one of the things that we're looking at as we build out our platform. So this is the platform where patients are like scheduling things and like seeing what's in their prescription. So that hopefully will be a component. The only problem with that is there are so many health medical systems that use different EHR systems, and figuring out a way to integrate all of that and making it clean. That is still something startups are actually still trying to figure out how to do.
So a couple of questions on your platform. First of all, the formulation of the medicine, I suppose, is like a single herb and combination of different herb into a formula. Is that what you do?
Yeah.
So in that kind of setting, usually the practitioner need to monitor the patient on like a weekly basis and then adjust the formula accordingly. Do you currently do that?
Yes. So generally, our patients will go through either a 1 month or 2 month initial treatment.
Yep.
They will have access to the patient direct messaging, and they'll keep in. For example, if the patient has allergies, so it would be like the amount they take for that first day will change depending on how they react on that first day. And then after that, then they will go on a month-long prescription once they've adjusted within that 1 to 2 week treatment.
Second question is in terms of the herbal medication itself, I suppose the powder form, right? It's extracted. And are you do you get the supply from here or from like overseas?
We work with manufacturers both on the West Coast and East Coast that do get their granules through different countries in Asia. But every single shipment that we receive, we have a COA, basically it shows tested for different the like minerals, any pollution, that kind of thing.
See, the question that actually I'm thinking about, so there's a duty issue that you didn't consider about.
Oh yeah.
Right. So that's another on top of the cost.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But we can talk about that area actually have some knowledge about.
Yes.
I have many friends with this ISO who are medical professionals. one of them has liability insurance. How do you cover the risks?
We cover the.
How do you cover the risks? If something
Oh,
happens to the
yes.
patient?
So our practitioners all have liability insurance through their current, so they're contractors. So as contractors in whatever practice they have already liability insurance. So we are contracting them and their services from that practice, so they all have liability insurance.
So the patients are their patients, not yours.
Our patients work with these practitioners who are contractors with our company. They have liability insurance just over all of their practices.
So just so that it gives a sense, so the practitioners are based in the US and you guys are also delivering and delivering the recommendation.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So what is your business model?
Business model, we're direct to consumer, so we work, our first patient core was direct to consumer. Right now we're exploring different avenues and working with existing traditional Chinese medicine providers that do not have an herbal component. So a lot of practitioners are actually acupuncturists first because insurance covers acupuncture but not herbal medicine. Something that's not well known is that herbal medicine is covered by FMS and HSA. So one thing we're looking at is working with these practitioners who are acupuncturists but don't have an herbal component and want to incorporate herbal components into their practice. So going into practices that already have patients who are using traditional Chinese medicine.
Do the practitioners pay to be on the platform?
We're looking at commission-based percentage based on the amount of patients that they bring in.
Perfect. Yeah, last question.
Yeah, my question is kind of a follow-up question. Western medicine, traditionally, the pharmacist is the one who does the checks and balances. What if there are any compatibilities with different drugs? So who is doing that with that side? Is that the herbalist job? And if so, what is their training as compared to the pharmacist?
Yeah, so it would be the practitioner who is doing that. So as I mentioned, their education is not just on traditional medicine, philosophy and their training, but it's also on common pharmaceuticals, common chronic diseases, and what drug interactions occur for those chronic diseases. A lot of practitioners will also undergo additional training for specifically perhaps chronic disease, and we vet those practitioners for those certificates.
Great job.
Thank you. Feel free to come up to me, ask me questions. I love you.
Sounds good. Perfect. And next up we have Sophia from Seal Certify. Awesome. Sophia, give us your quick story on where you were in May, where you are now.
Oh yeah, so I met you guys actually in February, so I've been harassing you for this long already. I was a disaster, quite frankly. I was hot mess express and running very quickly into a brick wall. So with their guidance, I feel like I've got a much clearer picture of what I am actually doing and being able to communicate that with people. So yeah, I'm very, very thankful.
Thank you, and excited to have you share your story. And that's the down button for
the next slide. Alrighty. Well, hello everybody. I'm super excited to be presenting in front of you today. My name is Sophia Crawford. I've been a mobile notary for just about 6 years now. And something that I discovered while performing services for my clients was that if you need to use a document outside of its country of origin, like a will or a power of attorney, you need to get it AppSeed or authenticated depending on where it needs to go. And that process can take you anywhere between a week to 12 weeks and a couple $100 per document, and that is a nightmare. So what I decided to do was to fix that. We were trying to figure out a way to do everything super efficient. So we are eliminating fraud, making sure that everything is very secure, verifiable, and setting a new global standard. It is a blockchain-powered platform that ultimately will merge the entire chain of events from start to finish. So from your document creation to electronic notarization to actually getting it apostilled and authenticated and then sent over to where it needs to go. And it is a $4.3 billion market, side note. So the problem, what is wrong with the current system? As I mentioned, we've got fraud and errors that results in $1.2 billion in annual losses because of this document fraud. The traditional authentication is very slow, it's unreliable, it's very finicky, and depending on which clerk you get, you might not get it done that day. The solution, what are we doing to fix this? We are automating everything, again, start to finish. So the document legalization with blockchain to reduce that processing time. Electronic notarization, we're wanting to offer these services to the general public through their governments so that they can get a more affordable rate on their electronic notarizations than the prevailing rate, or paying somebody like me who charges an arm and a leg. And legal document templates so that everyone has access to good and decent legal work instead of just kind of doing it themselves and then seeing how that goes. And how are we doing this? We are using blockchain to make sure that everything is safe, secure, unchangeable. Smart contracts so that the governments don't need to have as many people actually working on these documents every single day. And AI document scanning and input, that way, again, we can reduce the amount of people that need to be looking at these documents. Whoop. Sneak peek. The competition. Mostly these are kind of like peripheral competitors that focus just on notarization and typically only serve Hague Convention countries. And so that leaves about half of the world underserviced. With Seal Certify, we do all of it with the apostilles and authentications, blockchain, global accessibility, which I really value, smart contracts, electronic notary. And the market, $4.3 billion. The plan is to begin working with government bodies initially with apostilles and authentications, the white label e-notary platforms, and then move on to corporations that process very large volumes of documents so they can get everything done pretty quickly at a lower rate, and then eventually serve the individuals with the legal templates and e-notarization. Our revenue model, it's SaaS leasing for all of the services. We're not really going to be the direct, I don't know, like point of contact for each customer because they're going to the government. So it'll have like state of Massachusetts labeling on it, or Texas, or wherever you are. And all of this will be kind of following along that kind of model, with the exception of the legal templates. That'll be kind of like a legal Zoom kind of vibe where you can just go ahead and do it yourself. The rollout plan, begin with the apostilles and authentications. That gets our foot in the door. And then provide the white label services for the government, and then the legal templates, and that'll be a more public offering. Our roadmap, I have worked a lot on the prototype, so I'm very pleased that that part is complete. I'm going to begin with the pilot programs, move on to the full launch, and then expand into other markets. The United States is not my end-all be-all. It's a stepping stone to get out into those other less serviced countries. Our revenue estimates, we are projecting a total cumulative revenue of just under $900 million by 2035. And we are asking for $250,000 in pre-seed funding, and our allocation of funds is to marketing and outreach, pilot programs, and partnerships primarily. This will get us into 3 to 5 different states and help to carry us over for a few months while we cover, a lot of the transaction fees. I want to give them an incentive to try it out with us first, so give them like some free processing. And that is that. And I was almost on time.
The 250 is one way for how long?
Pardon?
The 250 is one way for how long?
That'll give us about 4 to 6 months to run that.
Question number 2, because in sort of the notary business itself, I'm trying to help first. One of the challenges, especially among community, especially among innovation communities, is that you need to also translate documents and notarize them. You provide such a service.
So that is something that I would want to provide to people through the legal document like template stuff or translations. That usually falls under like a different domain. We needed to have like a different set of certifications in order to like do the translations and then get those notarized. Those services I don't provide because I don't speak any other languages, but when I had somebody on our team, they were certified to, do translations for like documents in Spanish, and then I would notarize it for them. So,
For example,
pardon?
AI, for example.
To offer the direct translations, I think that would be not like an initial offering that we would provide to people, but I think that would make sense to add like with the legal document stuff and to have something kind of separate for people, because I do get a lot of calls about that. And there's not a lot of people that are able to provide that service. And so if there's an AI for it, thank you. Yes.
Are you currently working with any?
I can't hear you.
Are you currently working with any law firms, any attorneys on your team?
No, we do not. I have my dad, but he's probably going.
So one of the slides that you show like a difference between your team and all the other like different companies that provide service. You outline some of the advantage that you have. A couple of points like you know that. Yeah. So for example, you list blockchain's smart contract as one of the benefit, and I kind of question that because it's just the way you implement your technology. You need that blockchain and also need smart contract. The other company that don't need that. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that those not necessarily is a particular valuable to showcase contracts with other company. But beyond that, the question that I have is that I try to understand the actual workflow of how a consumer will use your technology to do the signature. For example, in the case of like a DocuSign, I know using an email, click the email, go there, do the signing. And in your case, do I need to have a wallet? Do I need to understand how blockchains work? That kind of things before I can kind of carry out this process. So that's number one. Because the way I see it right now, blockchain is getting traction, but at the same time, the kind of quality issue is actually kind of complicated for people who didn't have a lot of exposure in that area. So that's the kind of workflow that I try to get a little bit more understanding.
Yeah, so the blockchain is not going to be like super evident to just the user because they don't really need to know or necessarily care. They just need to know and care that it works. DocuSign is not, they offer some notarization stuff, which is fine for what they're doing. They don't need like the same kind of level of security that's also required by other countries in order for documents to be approved. With the current system for apostille on authentications and stuff, it's just paper. A lot of countries have not implemented their own versions of like electronic apostille or anything. So the amount of fraud is just stapled together. And then countries that have started to try and do their own like electronic apostille authentication, they're storing everything in PDFs and then emailing it to people. And so there's a lot of concerns with security for the document and the contents of those documents, which include like social security numbers, legal information. And so that's why I'm wanting to use blockchain, because it's a way that we can verify that the document has not changed from when it was authenticated to the person that needs to use it. And the use case would be, start to finish. I need to get a will done or a power of attorney for another country. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start. I don't have money for a good lawyer. I go online. I see, seal certified. I create my document. I then immediately am able to get it notarized electronically. You don't have to worry about formatting or doing everything. And then you can directly submit it to be authenticated. And then it's all done in the same day, instead of having it, over the course of a couple of weeks.
You still have a question? Just quickly, do you have any pilot customers signed up?
Not yet, no.
And who is your target buyer within the document?
What kind of government?
Secretary of State. So there's only certain types of government agencies that are authorized by the convention to provide services. So it'd be secretaries of state, and then like the federal government, and then equivalent agencies in other countries. I've been seeing you in the back for a while.
Yeah,
I just
gotcha.
want to yeah.
Okay, great presentation. So just a quick question around kind of runway and also how the length of your sales cycle, because it sounds like government and corporations have really long sales cycles, 4 to 6 months to be able to get enough clients on board.
I will be with just the connections that I have immediately in various Secretary of State's offices, where I can kind of bypass the initial super long sales cycles. For other states that are outside of like the immediate New England area, those will take longer because I don't know them and they don't love me. So I'm just sorry about that.
All right. Great job. Great job, and excited to bring up Magnus next for presentation from Tidy. There we go. Magnus, give us your backstory. Where were you a few months ago compared to now?
Oh yeah, a few months ago, my development team had just bundled up a huge rollout that we were doing with the current providers that we actually wanted to onboard with us, and it was a nightmare. We had to take a step back, search within. All this while my wedding planner quit on us. So yeah, so a lot of back and forth, a lot of planning. Got in contact with Jason and Steve, and now here we are. We have built a product that we are planning to soft launch as early as August. And what we're really looking for is, we're asking if you believe in a company that is mission driven and focused on helping 40,000 local laundromats, dry cleaners, and tailors across America get access to the 19 million people, households, and we are the ones who. Perfect. So just to make sure I click
Down there.
Great, okay. Like I said, my name is Magnus, and if you haven't met me before, you have today. I represent Tidy, and we make laundry extremely simple because your time matters. So, if you've ever been to a laundromat, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's a Friday, you don't want to be there, but that's really the only time you have. You're very busy, you want to get this over with, you have a lot of clothes, so you go to the laundromat. And when you get there, it's packed full of people. It's packed on Friday, it's packed on Saturday, it's packed on Sunday. And even if it's not packed, the machines are either always broken or, right, there's always some weird person there that you don't want to touch your clothes or whatnot. And lastly, you don't even like the laundromat you go to. But who are you gonna go to? Are you gonna really log your clothes and drive all the way across town to go do your laundry? If you are, all power to you. Most people won't do that. So we get stuck with the same exact laundromat. That's exactly what people like Maria are going through. Every single week, we deal with the same problem we wish they had solutions to, but we don't have options, so we stick with what we know. And a lot of us here are founders, so I can actually talk about the laundromat owner. So you're a laundromat owner. Put yourself in the place of Susan. You're a laundromat owner. Half your machines are broken, and people don't like your laundromat. You want to provide a better service, but you can't. What are the typical reasons why they don't do this? Well, for one thing, access to capital, right? The laundry business is not something that a lot of banks really want to because it's not all that gorgeous, right? And two, a lot of people in the laundry business are immigrant-led owners, and so they're very intelligent people, but they don't have that training necessary to be able to scale their businesses. Number three, technology, right? Technology and marketing helps people access people over, but they don't have that. Number four is logistics. You want to get to customers, you want to provide like new offerings such as delivery, but how are you going to do that? You have to pay drivers, you have to pay for tickets, you have to pay for a vehicle. All this is expensive, especially to a mom and pop shop. And that's where we're coming. Oh no. Well, the problem is really huge because the disconnect between laundromats and dry cleaners is really ugly. So ugly, in fact, that in America alone, it's a $6 billion problem. And we think we can solve that problem one at a time. In Boston alone, that $6 billion problem can be broken down into a $12 million solution. What does that mean? Well, our role is to help 10 vendors with your contribution of 250,000, of course, access 5,000 households and process 8,000 orders in year one alone. And what does this mean for customers? There's choices. Now, if you don't like the laundromat that you go to, or if you don't even have time, you get options. You put in the preference that you want, and you know that these are the people that do it, these are the prices, and this is when it comes to you. Think about your local agent right from your phone. You really get to do laundry without getting to do laundry. And now for businesses, what this means is that they get more access to customers, they get better service offerings, and they get the data to prove that they do that. Operational data, analytics data, and even marketing data. So if a check is not something that you're able to do today, what I want is always more advice, right? We don't know everything. Marketing is not my strong suit, but some of you know marketing. And strategic advice could be something that I may lack or something that you can see. I could use that. And I'm sure for some of you investors here today, you have companies in your portfolio that will be able to help our customers alike. Let us get access to those customers. Let's get those conversations going. And if you believe in what we're doing, please ask questions, meet me after. I'll be more than happy to stay in touch. Thank you. Yes.
So there are certain applications my daughter is in college. She can control the machines from afar, know which ones are available, when it starts, when it finishes, etc. Pretty nice app. But how do you compete in that area? What exactly is?
Yeah. So the big differentiator is that we are a business-focused company, a local business-focused company that is extremely customer-friendly. What this means is that we have access to local laundromats and dry cleaners that we partner with, and we make sure that they put their best foot forward. So what does that mean for you as a user, as a customer, somebody that goes there every day? If you have a specific preference, maybe it's a day preference. You want to get your laundry done on your dry cleaning, right? Full disclosure, dry cleaners hate people that leave their clothes there all the time because you only have so much space. And if you're very busy and you say, I'm coming by Friday, you don't come back to pick up Friday, now that's one less space that they have. With this option, as soon as they're done, right, you pick your favorite laundromat and dry cleaner, our drivers come and pick it up from them and bring it to you. So data, like I said, data analytics and options for you, the consumer. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yep. Are you using your own unique drivers, or is this like you're using a third party, like contract with an Uber driver, like Uber Eats did at first? Actually, now they own Uber Eats, but initially that was they were just contracted with them. So is that how you're doing it?
That's exactly how we're doing it initially. And the reason why we're doing that is because they already have experience with this, right? So it's going to be a lot easier for them to adopt it. And laundry's life cycle is not as fast as maybe food. So this is just an extra way, like avenue, right, for them to earn money. And it'll kind of be right in between the lane that will allow them to do whether it's Uber or Uber Eats, while adding this to Uber Eats.
So could you share the money picture here? For example, I'm a consumer, want to wash my laundry. So if I do it myself, I just go there, pay the coin to operate. In this case, basically I pay for the convenience and pay for the choice of convenient laundrymat that get my clothing wash. So basically, the cost for me is beyond the basic laundry. I pay for the employment of the driver to pick up my clothes and send to the laundromat. So that's from my point of view. For the owner who operates before, they don't pay any beyond maintenance machine and stuff like that. They pay a fee to you to list in your platform, I suppose. Is that part of the money picture as well? Yeah, so I just want to get a picture of how is the money flow in the whole thing.
That's awesome. So let's stick with just laundry, right? Because that's the one that most people understand. So there are actually two types of laundromat customers. The one that just goes and gets their clothes done, and the one that actually gives their clothes and say, hey, here are my clothes, take it. So for someone that's first customer, just goes and gets their laundry done. So the wasted cost is that one, you have to go buy your own soap and whatever, right? And then now you have to spend 2 to 4 hours there. Even at minimum wage in Massachusetts, you make $15 an hour, you just wasted $60 of laundry's time, but you're not thinking about it, right? On top of that, most laundromats cost like maybe $7 per wash, $7 per fold, plus $14 plus the soap. Now, you can do that, and if you continue to do that, that's completely fine. Now, if you feel that that opportunity cost can be enrolled, then the second customers, they just say, hey, here are my clothes, and most laundromats charge by the pound. So they're already doing this, and laundromats are already offering this service. They want to offer more, but some customers don't have that ability to go and take it to them. And the way we invest in them is by saying, so you customers that are already bringing it to the laundromats and having them wash it for you, the only extra cost to you is our delivery fee, because the drivers have to get paid. We don't generate money directly from you. We actually go kind of like on a profit sharing basis with the dry cleaners. So all this data, all these tools, our platform is completely free for you to use, and we don't make a single dollar unless a customer processes and order through us. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So how are you expecting people to find your platform?
Another great question. First and foremost, we're going to go with the partners, right? If they already have people that are doing this, why not? If it's not broken, don't fix it. So we're gonna market through them initially, and then obviously we're gonna have to market this online, right? Social media is gonna be really huge. If you have any social media marketing background, please talk to me. And then we're gonna go direct to consumer. We're trying to target really young professionals, college students that have access to this, and people that are already using the service that could be early adopters. Wonderful question. So what I do right now is we have somebody dedicated to that, right? So if the way we're getting laundromats and dry cleaners right now is we go there, hey, we have this product, check out what it can do. Are you in? And if that's yes, the first step is for them to sign a letter of intent, right? And the second step is to have another call with them. Somebody will go in and say, hey, this is what you do, these are what you need. And first and foremost, let's verify the documents that you have. Are you a legal business? We only work strictly with businesses. Perfect. Your documents check out. What are your prices? What service offerings do you have? When are you open? If you're having a hard time with that, somebody will help you. With that being said, there is one barrier that we foresee, and that is a language barrier specific to Spanish. While I speak Spanish, un poquito, it's going to be something that's going to be hard because our language we mainly use English as a language, and with a little bit of help and some resources, we can make that easier for the bilingual, again, immigrant-led businesses, so we can help them there.
Perfect. Great job. And excited to call Stephanie up as our next presenter for Born to Thrive. There we go.
Can you hear me on the back? I know sometimes sounding can be a little bit. I don't know if you're nervous, but I am. Never had those other faces looking
Yeah, before you kick off, give us a quick background on where you were in May, where you are now.
Well, in May, we actually started with a completely different project. After the program, we pivot to something different. So we have now a software, more an orientation towards the software more than the full build. So that's the pivot for us.
Perfect. And yeah, you can use the down arrow to change slides and take it away.
Awesome. So I want to just hear from you. Who in the room is a parent, not of a dog, of a baby? Who wants to be a parent? Yes, me as well. So our mission is to bring the manual for a baby. We know that everything in life comes with a manual, but a baby and a family. So our mission is to bring wisdom, knowledge, and community to all the parents. So the problem, for you guys that have a baby in the room, you know the problem. Baby's needs, chronic lack of sleep, right? Unpredictable nature of the baby's behavior. So sometimes the parents that I work with, they have a sense of, am I doing a good job? Am I a good parent? Like, how can I be a better parent for my child? So our goal is to solve this problem for the parents. The solution: knowledge, community, connection, communication, a sense of certainty, and the happiness. We all look for happiness in this room, right? Happiness for children and for families. So our market size. I don't know if you know, but there is around 3.4 million birds in the US alone per year. In Boston, right about 64,000 birds per year. Our goal is to win a market with our software to go and gather parents at a win rate of 3%. So that will bring us to a tangible addressable market of 396,000. Is that right? Million? I get mixed up with the numbers in English. Yeah, and our business model is to have a monthly fee subscription for predictive analysis. And our full package, which is right about $30 per month, will bring the parents predictive analysis on sleep, behavior, training, scheduling, and a set of caretakers, aside of family, let's say a nanny, a provider, or a night nurse. The team is Devil. Devil has been working with technology as an engineer for over 19 years. And I have been working as a caretaker and a nanny and a provider for over 10 years now. And I come from a big family. And my background in psychology and my hands-on knowledge from Brazil helps me integrate everything. My grandma, she had 18 kids. She was the midwife for my village, and she was an amazing woman. She adopted 2 more. So the goal of Born to Thrive is to bring the wisdom and knowledge of my ancestors to the US through knowledge, technology, and education. We are funding $220K for this year, and the goal is to invest in marketing, invest in more engineering, because Devil needs somebody to help him, and partnerships. The projections, like I said, we're year 1. We want to win the market for Boston, at least 3%, and we want to expand around the East Coast and eventually West Coast. They don't have a lot of babies in LA, so it's kind of sad. So we're gonna keep it here. And partnerships as well. So we're investing. Here's one of the potential partners that we have. We're looking to partner up with Montessori schools or agencies, people that have like caretakers, providers. So everybody who is involved in the child's life is connected through the app. Teachers, providers, grandparents, everybody. The goal is to maximize the environment for that baby and for the family. We wanted that baby to have the best possible environment for growth. And we have here a special thanks to His and Truth's production, my friends over there. Boston New Technology, thank you guys, appreciate you. And thank you guys for your attention. If you have any questions, please ask away. I would love to answer them for you.
Yes. So I will be an empty nester next month when my youngest goes to college.
Congratulations.
So my baby stage was 18, 19, 20 years ago. Back then, Amazon was still OTLs. There was a huge number of communities, online communities, support communities, etc., that do basically everything that I said here, only it's for free. Today, way more.
Right.
How do you differentiate yourself? If I can get everything for free in whatever community it is, whether it's local or online, why would I pay?
Sorry, so you said that you were empty nester, and then, yeah, so when did you get care for free in Boston? I forget.
Wait, I'm not talking about care for free, I'm talking about advice. This is what I understand. Are you providing actual care, or is this an advice to me?
This is a platform where everybody can get information for their kids.
Yeah, there are tons of communities online that provide multiple languages. As you can hear, English is also not my original language, and I have communities that provide all of that.
Yeah. So yeah, this is more of like a hands-on kind of thing. So they get the training as well. So people can go online and have all sorts of advice. Go on Google. You don't need to go to a person. Go on Google and ask, right? But it's a professional care into a software. So it's tailored for the children. It's tailored for the parent.
Yeah. So is there kind of like a social media, social network aspect to this where kind of like you could meet other like local parents for say like play group or group activities that part of this as well?
It's more on the side of community for the providers. So similar to what he was saying, he got that help from the community, and here we give the professional help through the app for them. And that the data that they put into the system tailors like sweet spots. Like I don't want to get technical here because there's not a lot of parents. So the goal is to have them learn the sweet spot for that child. So we'll tailor care, education to the specific needs of the family.
Yeah.
So the question I have is it more for the parent before the child is born in the life cycle?
Yeah, it's for 0 to 4 initially. The goal for this, because 0 to 4, why? Right, we have to keep that in mind. The first 4 years of a human person, it's very important. So it's the environment for that child is extremely important. And if all the caretakers involved, teacher, parents, can be on the same page with their care, the better the environment, maximization of the environment will be for them.
So a follow-up question on that is, I was able to join the last class for dads, and then we also have colleagues with 2 kids that we have. Are you thinking about something along that lines when it comes into tailored training for parents? So they're prepping for that 0 to 24 months or 0 to 4. How to handle that?
Yeah, no, it's day one. I think there's a lot that parents can go into. They can take classes before the baby comes, but you only know what it is once it's there. Nobody can tell you. So this is from day 1 until 4. Day 1 of your baby, 4 years old, preschool, good to go.
Good.
I'm so glad you asked that. Yeah. So we do have competitors, and they are ahead of the game. The only thing that they don't have is this aspect of the wisdom, like this thing that I brought from my hometown. So the goal is to put that wisdom into the app. So how, right? How am I gonna get? I was talking to somebody earlier today, and they said, "Oh, so your grandmother will be the CEO of your." She's not gonna be the CEO, but she has that. So how can I do that? We're replicating that by sending other caretakers into people's homes as well. I haven't seen that before. So there's that differential. It's not only the software in and of itself. There are people, humans, going to other humans' house to do the job for them.
And grandmas could be CEOs too.
Hey, great job. Thank you. And next up, we have Tapanchi from ShineQuo. There we go. Tapanchi, as you're coming up. Oh. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, give us a quick backstory where you were a couple months ago to now.
10 weeks before in May, I just wrapped up my first pilot with Babson and Northeastern for the spring semester. So that was a time when I had data with a non-tech product, just a form which was matching students with coaches, part of non-tech MVP. And I wanted to see how I can transition those users to my platform and how to convert that knowledge I have learned from pilot to going to colleges. So Prepare for VC really helped me understand and get more clarity as I was talking with more administration during the summer period. And I think those questions which we were pushed to answer throughout this period really helped me get so much of understanding about my own product, about customers, about users. So that was definitely one of the key insights for me.
Perfect. Excited to have you take it away.
Okay, so hello everyone, I'm Dipanshi Bansal, founder and CEO at ShineQuo, where we are creating an ecosystem to help students navigate adulting and life challenges through a digital solution. Talking about myself, I come with a mixed background of technical as well as industrial experience. I have worked in EY and Deloitte in risk consulting, have been a software engineer, product leader, co-founded a company back in India, and have mentored 100 plus students throughout my journey as well. I started ShineQuo based on my own experience as an international student when I was studying, when I came to the US to pursue my MBA from Babson, and that's where the journey started. I realized from my own experience and then studying about mental health, especially in college atmosphere, that 40% of college students really feel disengaged within the community. And research shows that these students who are having less engagement are 3 times more likely to leave school. We already know a lot of mental health stats and the rising concerns, especially in the younger generation. But why do colleges care? They care because they are losing millions and billions of dollars every year. US universities lose $16.5 billion because of these dropouts every year. So how are we adding value to student education and well-being while also creating value to colleges and educational institutions is by creating an ecosystem that gamify the whole student adulting experience. How we do that is by connecting students with human life coaches who help them find their purpose, time management, goal setting, etc., and create a space where peers could connect with each other, learn from each other, empower their stories along the journey, and give a space where resources of all the campus resources come together within the platform. So students get not only this, but students get perks, discounts, and benefits throughout using the platform while they're building habits with our coaches rather than doom scrolling. So one of the key insights, differentiator that we found during our pilot was the smart matching algorithm, which connected students and coaches not only by the focus area, but the cultural, emotional, and life similarity fit. Our coaches are diverse, so they come from different countries and speak 10 plus languages. And how are we doing this or reaching out to students are by partnering with colleges and schools. We partner with them on an annual platform fee where students get the access and they get the general insights of what really student needs at a holistic level. And how we add value to them is our cost for the colleges is just 0.5% of the tuition fee that students pay. And that's taking us in the college to save $10 million plus per year per university, because the dropout rates in US universities is way too higher and already increasing every year. The market size is already big, you know, about education and wellness already. This is a bottom-up approach with which we are targeting to have 50 educational institutions by 5 years, with taking us to an annual recurring revenue of $15 million. And we have a TAM of $4 billion covering K-12 institutions and US colleges. We have competitors like Coach Hub, Insight Track, Timely Care who partner with universities right now. But how are we creating a differentiating factor is by basically having a whole ecosystem and gamifying the experience so that students stick in and enjoy the whole experience of well-being. And it is not a different thing to take care of alongside all the college stress. Until now, since almost 1.5 years and 1 year since I graduated, we have been doing customer discovery, talking with 200 plus college administrations and endless students. We have 15 active coaches on our platform who are providing their services, 5 partnerships who are providing discounts. We have been working with 2 pilots. Papson has already signed the partnership, and we have beta users from 7 universities from mostly East Coast, but a couple of them from the central US region as well. Our go-to-market strategy is simple. Our buyers, the college administrations, visit a lot of conferences. So we target to go to exhibit booth at NASPA, ACHA, MHA conferences, get customers from there, as well as have channel partnership with insurance companies to reduce healthcare costs, partner with wellness companies, partner with edtech companies, and increase our reach throughout US, along with monthly webinars that we do, which brings up college administrations as well as students to spread across what ShineCo is and how coaching really would help students. This is a team, a mix of experts in the industry with the technical expertise as well as the business expertise as well. We are planning to raise, we are starting to raise 300K for a runway of next 12 to 18 months. Our focus is to go to visit these conferences and build those partnerships, along with increasing the technical expertise within our platform to increase that, have that gamification piece up and running. And this will lead us to 9 educational institutions by the next year. So thank you so much for listening. I'm really excited to have you join the ShineCo family, and feel free to scan the QR code and schedule a call. I would love to have a conversation, be it in terms of fundraising or any connections that you could make in your educational institutions.
Who has questions?
Can you describe a little bit about how long it will take to have the first conversation with the university and actually sign them up, and who at the university is your decision maker?
Yeah, wonderful question. So student success department is the one who really looks at the holistic well-being. Sometimes some colleges have career departments within it as well, but student success comprises of wellness, healthcare department as well. So those are the ones who are decision makers. And we have a couple of advisors who are those buyers who are giving us advice on a monthly basis as we go. And answering your first question in terms of working with them, it takes around 6 to 8 months in the education cycle. So like right now, I'm already having a lot of conversations. I have visited 5 or more conferences in the last 1 year, so have been making those connections, and that's how like I'm doing those customer interviews and building a relationship from there.
And in your pricing model, is it $1.67 per student who needs coaching, or the whole population?
it's for the whole population so that students can come anytime on the platform, and then the ones who take coaching sessions, then the colleges can pay for the add-on sessions per like they can buy the sessions in bulk, and that would promote it.
And do they typically cover the sessions? Is that?
Yeah, so it depends on how colleges want to make it flexible. Like they want to get 4 sessions for each student, they want to get 6 sessions, so they can have that flexibility. And afterwards, students can buy at a monthly subscription of $35 which gives them access to 2 coaching sessions per month.
Follow up on that question, basically, so when you discuss with the decision maker of the school, the more important is to show that the student using the platform actually is quite valuable. That kind of data, how do you collect those data? Second thing is that one student using your platform in terms of interaction with the platform itself, the kind of experience they get, do you capture any of those data, and how those, if you do, how those data are going to further enrich the potential service that you likely to offer to individual students?
Yeah, wonderful question. So we one of the major problem in educational institutions right now is they are not able to understand the Gen Z behavior or what do they really need, especially when being such a big category or umbrella which has so many different focus areas. So our platform helps to get those insights. For example, X percentage of students are connecting with finance coaches, or X number of students are focusing on time management or relationship issues, or what kind of partnerships that they are availing more discounts on. So that really gives them insights on data points on what they could also bring on campus as well alongside online resources. So we are collecting that data overall in the platform. We have also shared that data on with our private colleges as well, which has helped sign FAPSN as one of the early adopters. Okay, yeah.
I'll go. You briefly mentioned gamification. Could you tell me a little bit more about what that would look like? Would there be levels? Would there be rewards? Would there be points?
Yeah, so ultimately our vision is to build Duolingo for mental health, but since that needs a lot of investment and time, we wanted to start from solving a problem right now. So we started with just a simple platform which connects students with coaches and then have that peer-to-peer support. That was our MVP. Now our next step is to gamify it with points and rewards. And then our next step is to have those levels where they actually, for example, if they are actually using or doing the habit building piece, they can click a picture and upload and they get rewards and they scale up. So that's where we really want to reach at the end as we go.
So I have a long question, but so I'm kind of reading between the lines here. So the incentive for a university to work with you is to make their students more hiring. So are you also kind of working with corporations where they are feeling a lot of pain with, especially with Gen Z employees that doesn't yet have the skill sets that you are talking about, and they are also competing become a lot of talent because of that. So are you also working with corporates as well?
Yeah, that's a wonderful question. So that's our market expansion strategy. Once we have a good number of students on our platform, we plan to partner with corporates so that they could hire talent because right now hard skills are very easy to learn, but then soft skills are really important, which makes a big difference among different employees that companies are looking for. So we want to partner there, and we already have 2 small businesses who are interested, but that's not a big value prop for our buyers right now because they want to focus on well-being as the number one thing for now. So get that in course.
Yeah, we'd love to take that offline because it seems like a willingness to pay.
Yeah, I discussed that with career department and I saw some hesitance in the persona. They are so much into the internal ecosystem, unlike the wellness departments who are willing to partner with external companies. So I feel like once we are able to enter the school, then it becomes easy to expand to the career department in that regards to focus on holistic well-being of students.
Great job. Awesome. And next up, excited to call up Anushka from Catalyst.
Okay.
Oh, was there a new version?
Open it again. No, can you go back to your drive?
Yep.
Yeah, Catalyst pitched like 5 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, while this slow.
Oh yeah, tell us.
Yeah. All right, so hi everybody, welcome. I know it's been a long time, but we are almost to the end. My name is Anushka. I'm the founder of Catalyst. When I started in May, let's see, we were just coming from like trying to get started on a pilot customer. So we are right now in the middle of that pilot contract. We didn't have a big team at the time. It was mainly just me and one other person. Now that team has grown much bigger. We have more technical expertise, and we have made a lot of breakthroughs on the go-to-market strategy and product side. We have a bunch of more companies in our pipeline, but because we do B2B enterprise, it's going to be another few months before they close into contracts. But okay, let me. So my name's my company is Catalyst. We do modernization of legacy software using AI. So in today's world, technology is moving faster than ever. However, the great irony is that most of the world still runs on old software, specifically a language called COBOL from the 1960s. 90% of Fortune 500 companies still have COBOL running. COBOL does 3 times more transactions than Google searches every single day. However, the COBOL engineers are close to retirement and are leaving the workforce. And COBOL is no longer taught at universities, so we do not have younger talent coming into the market to replace the leaving developers. So now you might be wondering, why haven't companies moved on, right? Why not just replace this COBOL? The thing is, they've tried, but 70% of those projects have failed. Why? Because teams often underestimate the complexity of the COBOL program. Most of the projects end up wasting money on modernizing their code. And the modern application that these companies create often misses certain edge cases. So that's where Catalyst comes in with a better solution. Our solution ensures that we reveal the deep system understanding of the legacy system. We identify dead code early and eliminate it so that we do not waste cost and human resources on that, on modernizing dead code. And then we ensure easy onboarding of modern engineers so that you ensure knowledge transfer. How do we do it? So we start off by actually ingesting the source code of the legacy application. We first document the entire source code to reveal all the business logic that's sitting inside. Second, we create a visual dependency diagram. This helps in identifying dead code and in risk mitigation. From there, we actually convert the code. Here, we make sure that the modern code that we create is maintainable, and it's very similar to how a native modern developer would write it. Then we have an entire framework of testing to ensure none of the edge cases are missed. And then we document the modern application to ensure knowledge transfer back to the engineers. Our current go-to-market strategy is to partner with innovation teams and consulting companies. We are primarily focusing at verticals that are like telecom and manufacturing, but we do have a few financial institutions also in our pipeline. Our average contracts for pilots, we are estimating small pilots to be between 100K to 500K. and post pilots, average contracts are going to be somewhere between 1 to 10 million, depending on the size of the company and how much code they have. Our current, we have a pilot ongoing with an edtech company called Hawks Learning. We have other consulting companies in our mix. PwC, McKinsey is also, I forgot to add them, but they are also in our pipeline now. So what's the market opportunity here? With consulting companies, the SOM is currently between $2 to $5 billion, but the global TAM of the amount of money that companies spend on COBOL and mainframe is 750 billion. I'm the founder. I have prior first-hand experience with doing projects like this. While I was working at SS&C, I was the engineer who was manually converting COBOL to Java, and I've seen all the pitfalls that those projects have faced. We have an amazing technical team. Deepanch comes with more of an AI background and has more knowledge of the current AI trends. Shail comes from a computer science background, but he has also worked on COBOL to Java migrations back at TCS. Luke is more experienced. He has more than 3 decades of experience of doing translations, not only machine-to-machine language translations, but also coding translations. And he has a doctorate, a PhD in this field. We have an amazing advisory team that have all the right connections to get us into success. We are raising 750K. This is going to allow our tech team to move from part-time to full-time, and is going to get us to 1.5 million in revenue with 5 pilot customers. Thank you.
I love it.
Can you talk a little bit about what AI software you're leveraging and what you built yourself?
Yes. So most of, sorry about that. For the documentation part of our process, that is entirely AI driven. Visual dependency is entirely custom algorithms that we have built in-house. The conversion of code is a combination of our custom algorithms and a little bit of AI. AI is only like around 5% of that entire process. We make sure, and the reason we do that is to make sure there aren't any hallucinations. There are many other companies out there that will directly, IBM included, that will directly just use AI on COBOL and write a prompt saying to modernize it into Java. The problem that we have faced is if you try and scale that to anything more than 100 files of COBOL, you're going to start getting hallucinations, and those are impossible to catch. Until it goes to production, something fails, and then, yeah, that is more of a nightmare. So that is, we try, most of that is custom algorithm. Testing is something where it's more 50-50. 50% is custom algorithms that we've built, 50% is AI, and then documentation is entirely AI. Yeah. Yes.
The conversion to modern code.
Yes.
You mentioned Java, but is that flexible where we can? Yes. Okay, so any modern code.
Yeah.
Convert to, okay.
Yeah. So that's one of our goals is the way that we are approaching the conversion. The conversion to Java is just the endpoint, but we can actually do from any language to any language. So from COBOL to Java, we want to move to things like Delphi to Java as well. And then we've seen a lot of our customers are asking for like .NET and Visual Basic and moving out of those, and then C and C++. But yeah, so there's a lot of these, requests that we keep getting, but we're just trying to focus in on one and get started. Yeah.
First, I saw you presenting earlier this year in Cambridge at the Microsoft building.
Yeah.
In fact, you've made significant progress. So
yeah.
Much kudos.
Thank you.
Content migration is not something new. It was around 25, 30 years ago on the FY 2000 pad.
Yep.
COBOL fixing and conversion, etc. So, and 25, 30 years have passed, and COBOL is still around. So,
yes.
It will probably be around another 50 years.
Yeah.
So right now.
Yeah. So there's a few market trends that are changing. So the first is, yes, in the Y2K there was a big craze about COBOL. People from the early 90s were talking about COBOL being their language, and you know. With the wild craze, there was a big push where a bunch of early stage career people went and learned COBOL. So if you track the number of COBOL engineers post 2000, it actually went up. So we had a newer generation that was going out and learning and doing, replacing. We actually did a study in today's age, and nobody is willing to go out and learn COBOL anymore because there's no career trajectory that these companies, career advancement in that. Many companies, once they get a COBOL engineer, they just want to keep them there because they know they will not get another one. So that is inhibiting a lot of people, younger people especially, from learning that language. From our survey, we saw less than 1% of our applicants. We surveyed around 100 people were actually willing to go out and learn COBOL, even if the salary was more than 200,000. This is college students, yeah. So they were very, very hesitant. Everybody thinks white coding, AI coding is the future, but these AI models are not trained on enough COBOL code to even work on that in the long term. So that's why we think right now is the right time that companies are looking to modernize, and they're also not looking to partner with consulting. Like so far, they've all been contracting with Infosys or TCS, and getting all of the big consulting firms have a project like this going on right now. Problem there is those projects are all behind deadline, over budget, can cause a lot of problems. So a lot of our customers, they come to us because they want a scalable solution. They don't just want, a team of people like a services kind of model. Yeah.
How will you do this with such a small team though? If it's a big legacy company, I'm thinking of like Chase or Bank of America or something like that. Like I'm having trouble kind of imagining that.
Yeah.
How would you?
Yeah. So the advantage we have is, first of all, we don't do the services element of it. That's why we partner with consulting firms. So anything that is, around the architecture of the system and everything, computer architecture, that is handled by the services company. So in our pipeline right now, we have companies like, So Gravitate is a consulting company, Evident is a consulting company, ZS and Insight both are consulting companies. State Street is the end client, but they were the only ones who agreed to disclose. So I couldn't add the other logos on here. But so they offer the, the 10%, 15% services part of the business, and we are developing a product to do the rest of it. So with the programming language, it's a very structured form of language, so we are able to do with a smaller team develop a product.
Thank you.
Do one more.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, one more question.
I thought it was really smart to use a consulting company's existing sales force. I had a quick question about the public sector as potential end clients. I feel like they have quite a bit of
Yes. So our focus, I actually wanted to start with government. There's a little bit of a problem. The governments that have this problem are EU and US, and I'm an Indian citizen, so it doesn't make it easy for me to directly sell to them until I raise enough funding and the cap table changes. We also have been talking to a lot of the people in Washington to see if we can get a phase 1 and phase 2 grants from the defense to do this kind of, because they have active projects in this. In fact, Doge has recently broken one of the COBOL systems by using Grok on it, so they're really struggling with it. We do want to expand to that. It will be at least a year until we get to it, but our plan is once we have at least 1 or 2 successful customers in the private sector, we're going to expand to Washington and even state governments, because 45 out of 50 states in the US have COBOL systems.
Perfect. Great job. Awesome. Now we're going to move over to our virtual presenters here. And awesome. Frank, are you ready to go next? Hey, Frank.
Hey, Jason, this is Steve. How are you?
Hey, good.
I'm not sure if Frank is unable to pitch. We do have his recording all primed up, and also if he needs me to help him with the deck, I can also bring that up. So do you want to maybe We can maybe give him a minute, and then if he, oh, there you go, Frank.
Hello.
Hello.
There we go. Perfect. Yeah, we'd love to have you.
Frank.
Yeah, give us a quick as you're pulling up your presentation. I think screen sharing is enabled. Give us a quick background of where you were before the program, Frank.
Yeah. So hi everyone. From and before the program, I was in a very interesting place because I knew what I wanted to build, but I wasn't quite sure how to do it. Plus, I had already tried building the product, but I didn't have much success with it. So coming into the program really enabled me to, reset and try to further understand the customer that I am building for, and that has really enabled build a product that is now more aligned with the customers' expectations of the tool that we are providing. So, Jason, I might not be able to, present fully because the internet is. Yeah, so you can play the video and then I can answer questions if that's okay.
Oh, sure. Let me find that.
You're doing a great job, Jason. You got this.
Huh.
Hey, everyone, by the way, I'm Steve AI. I'm part of the team. Maybe a ghost, maybe an AI. Nobody really knows.
Was it in the?
I shared it with you on Drive.
Yeah, it's in the updated Dex folder.
Okay. There we go. Oh, perfect. All right, let me reshare.
You see, growing up, I struggled with dyslexia, and learning felt like a war zone to me. While other kids were racing ahead, I was still stuck sounding out the second sentence. And I remember dreading classes, not because I didn't want to learn, but because I felt like school wasn't built for someone like me. The system labeled me slow, but I wasn't. I just needed content to reach me differently. Years later, I realized that I wasn't alone. Millions of students like me are being failed every day, not because they aren't smart, but because they are misunderstood. EdTech hasn't solved this. Most platforms are built around a single idea of learning. Same content, same delivery, same path for everyone. But kids don't learn the same, and parents are left juggling multiple apps, tutors, curriculums just to find and piece together what works for their student. So I ask you to imagine a world where learning finally bended to the learner, where education felt like a guide, not a system to survive, where every child felt seen and supported. That is the future that I believe in. And that is why I'm building Classmate, an AI tutor that doesn't just deliver content, but it learns how the child learns, then adapts. Whether they prefer watching, listening, or drawing, Classmate switches modalities instantly. And at its core is what we call memory mesh. It tracks learning patterns, voice notes, and handwritings, and even emotional signals like confusion to create a dynamically evolving learning profile. You can think of it as Iron Man's suit, but for learning. So the team, I lead the vision and the product, and this comes from my own personal experience. And my co-founder, David Saruni, is a brilliant ML engineer and Microsoft student ambassador. Our advisor, the wonderful Steve Wilkes, brings deep insight into the ecosystem and scaling and helping us get Classmate in the world in the right quality at the right time. So this isn't just business for us. You know, we've aligned with UN's SDGs 4, 9, and 10 because we believe that no student should be left behind because they are different. We are creating access, inclusion, and equity for every learner. So why does Classmate win? Most edtech tools teach, but we do something different. We learn the learner, and that's our edge. You know, we integrate multiple learning modes into one platform powered by emotional intelligence and smart personalization. So the global K-12 edtech market is worth over 300 billion. But our beachhead is the homeschooling community in Massachusetts because it's over $4 million in annual recurring revenue. And this will give us a way to quickly test out Classmate before we now transition into learning institutions. So the revenue model, as we stand, parents will pay $50 per month for one student or $100 for up to 3 students. Schools can pay between $25 and $35 per student, depending on the size of the school. What we're doing right now is that we are actively engaging with parents and tutors, validating the problems, stress testing our assumptions, and listening. The insights are shaping our MVP, and in real time, we've launched a wait list, and families are accessing it and signing up for early access to Classmate. This year, we will be launching Classmates in Q3, and by Q4, we should expand to 500 families and begin onboarding 5 school partners. By 2026, we should be expanding out into other states. We are raising a 100K seed round, angel round, to get us through the next 8 months, and this will be used for development, marketing, and infrastructure. Now, there are kids out there, just like I was, who are brilliant, capable, yet being crushed by a system that doesn't understand them. You see, Classmate isn't just a tool. It's hope. It's a friend. It's every learner. It's for every learner who ever felt left behind. So if you believe no child should have to fight to be understood, then let's build a future of learning together.
Perfect. Yeah, any questions for Frank? Good job. Yeah, anyone have any questions for Frank? Yeah, Rob.
Trying to understand, where's all the content, the educational content coming from?
Yeah, Frank, where is all the educational content coming from?
Yeah, so what we do is we use curriculum guidelines. So for example, you can look at a curriculum like Cambridge International. They have those learning outcomes for every grade, every subject, every topic. So we use that information, what the child is supposed to learn, use that with the information about the student, and then the AI now generates a personalized lesson. So the content isn't pre-built. The AI builds it instantly when the lesson is clicked.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just reshare a little bit. So, yeah, it takes a full curriculum that's all text-based, turns it into, if the student is a visual learner, turns it into visual content. If it's an auditory learner, turns it into audio content, and customizes current curriculums for different personalized learning styles. Yeah, any other questions for Frank?
So how do you keep it from hallucinating?
Yeah, how do you keep it from hallucinating and making mistakes?
So that's where the guidelines actually come in. We have to do a lot of fine-tuning and prompting to make sure that it actually follows the correct guidelines. So you give it specific instructions and you tell it, when building content, always check that whatever you are doing is what is provided for in the guidelines. So it's a lot of fine-tuning involved so that no hallucination comes up. And also, we use additional resources, such as, for instance, we allow the parents and the tutors to add their own resources. So maybe it's like a book or something. The AI also uses that information to become better and more accurate.
Okay, perfect. All right, thank you. Good job, Frank. And yeah, next up, final full presentation, then a quick video at the end. We have Nolan from AddisCare. Excited to have you share your story and present with us.
Yeah, do you want me to share my screen? Is that, I don't know what, I can't see the.
Yeah, we can see your screen if you share it.
Okay.
All right, perfect. You are good to go.
Okay, I'll share a little bit about the story. So let's see, last April, raise your hand if you can hear me. Okay, great. So last April, Jason picked me up off of the streets of Redwood City in Silicon Valley and literally taught me clarity, founder's awareness, how to differentiate between a charmer, a churner, and a challenger. And this gave me a sense of a level of awareness as a founder to navigate different spaces. And then Steve really taught me how to move with grace to avoid burnout. At the time, we were just onboarding a new facility, and really the program helped me kind of vet through the ICP, which is CCRCs, Continuum Care Residential Communities. So my name is Nolan Sigmar. I'm the founder and CEO of AddisCare. Quick question, again, raise your hand. How many of you had the struggle of placing a loved one in a facility, assisted living facility, or playing the role as a family caregiver?
We got some hands raised.
Okay, great. So a sad story. A couple of years ago, my father passed away. While he was in a facility and then at home at the same time, the care that he received lacked accountability, transparency, and personalization. And in the next decade, about 12 million U.S. citizens are going to lose their to pay for that long-term care. The system that we have right now is fragmented and broken. This will affect millions of U.S. citizens. And sadly, these assisted living facilities were already spending $566 million in fines and violations due to neglect. 1 in 6 elders experience some sort of abuse, 20% receive some sort of medication error, and the executive directors at the facilities are stuck at their desk, not knowing what's actually going on. So as a worried child to your parents in that facility, you don't know where that care is. And what that care actually is. And so this is why we built AddisCare. AddisCare is a proactive, personalized elder care agent for assisted living facilities. We can help train the staff faster, document accurately, and communicate with families in real time. By combining AI-driven insights with caregiver support tools, it improves care quality, reduces staff burnout, and streamlines back office operations through software. The real-time AddisCare is a proactive system. To give you an example, if someone had a specific patient had a UTI and was getting up to use the bathroom more frequently, and 3 weeks ago they had fall risk, or they had just fallen, the system provides a way to guide the caregiver to essentially walk through the care routines in the morning and afternoon, and then also understand that that individual has fall risk. So it starts to collect data, coherent data over time on a historical standpoint. So now we can start to predict if this individual in the future may be prone to falling. The personalized training for that specific individual is also collected through that data information and patient health documentation. Our business model, we're charging our customers $125 per resident per month. This is an annual contract value of $150,000 a year. And the team, I'm a serial founder. I've built before. I built in the climate tech space, IoT asset tracking company throughout the Midwest. And I have real elder care experience as a caregiver. Kate did her MBA from Berkeley Haas, and she worked at a company called Better You AI in Minnesota, and has 5 years of startup experience. Prashanth took care of his grandmother for years before joining United Healthcare Group, then Amazon, then Oracle, and now Meta. John was an angel investor in my last company. He started off his career as an attorney and then became a product principal at Waste Management and a UX principal at 3M. We're backed and we're being advised by some of the best people in the world. Robert built AWS, a $2.5 trillion company, and he's helping us with sales and distribution with his current company. Narish invested $125K and is helping us with product and data security. Thompson is the CEO of Nice Healthcare, who's primary in-home care based in Minnesota. And Neil is a nurse advisor that is actually at the V, which is a really large assisted living facility on Sand Hill Road. And he came on to help us with customer insights because he understands what we're building. Dr. Rai is an oncologist, and he's helping us with different guardrails and care models. We raised some money, family and friends money, to build a product, and we did our customer interviews. We're launched, we're active with 4 paying care facilities that can expand to 175 residents. In the pipeline, I want to say that we have the V in Palo Alto where they're charging $30,000 per resident. And then we're also talking to real estate companies that own 250 care facilities. The total addressable market is $77 billion. This is a bottom-up approach, and then the serviceable addressable market is $1.9 billion. Our serviceable obtainable market is $688 million. The global market, it's $2.2 trillion by 2034, growing at 6%. Our competitors, Sensi, Safely You, WellSky, we're focused on personalization of care models. The moat here can be network effects and also using insights with underrepresented communities to share with pharmaceutical companies, which I can talk about later. So some of our customers says, oh, this is a great game changer. It saves us time, reduces stress, keeps everything organized, and helps my business grow faster while cutting costs. So we're raising $540,000 pre-seed investment using safes to onboard 14 assisted living facilities. 40% will go to operations and customer service. 40% will go to ongoing product development. 20% will go to marketing. We will expand to Southern California and then DC. And just to give you a notion here, Cerner was acquired by Oracle Health in 2022 for $28 billion. And this is a unicorn company. So if you're willing to come on and to provide value and insights, I'm happy to connect. Thank you for the time.
Any questions?
Just trying to understand how you're developing the knowledge base for this. Going to guide the treatment.
Sure. How do you develop the knowledge base for the platform?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the knowledge base is trained data from caregivers' notes, ambient sensors that we use to collect information. And then there's patient health documentation, like care models that are imported into the LLM that we use over time to fine tune. We did start our conversations with Mayo Clinic, and so we know both of the onboarding people there. And so in Q2, we would probably approach the Mayo Clinic to have some custom models.
My question to you is, what's your current geographical market entry? Are you, like, for example, some states have a higher threshold for senior living. Are you in any of these states like Florida?
Yeah, what's the current geographic focus, and are you in higher threshold areas for senior living facilities?
Yeah, so we're targeting continuum care residential communities, and there's 101 located in California. Our second approach is home care agencies, because home care agencies actually sometimes assist these facilities, these assisted living facilities. There's 506,000 across the US, and there's about 50,000 located in the state of California. The next point of expansion that's prominent is Minnesota, because it's prominently healthcare. There's a lot of assisted living facilities there, and then the DC, Baltimore area. 30 to 40% of caregivers come from East Africa or different country, and we've already accomplished and fine-tuned our voice to text future. And those are the markets where there's different caregivers of different countries that will benefit from this product.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, in terms of data that you acquire to help you monitor, what kind of data we're talking about? As video, audio, and some kind of sensor?
Sorry,
Yeah,
Jason, I missed the question.
Yeah. What type of data do you need? Is it audio, video? How do you get all the data into the system to help the care providers?
So right now we've launched with voice, voice from the caregiver aspect, but it's just essentially it's text. Text is how we collect all information. Eventually we could do audio sentimental analysis, but that is a go-to-market barrier. There's a lot of different compliances state by state where regulations where they don't want, it's an invasion of privacy. And so we planned on, or we actually started with just text to start with.
All right, great job.
Thank you.
Perfect. And then, yeah, we have a final video from Peter, and then we're going to celebrate everyone graduating. There we go. That is not the right video. I want to share. There we go. Manufacturing. Perfect. And with that, that's all the presentations. I'd like to celebrate all the entrepreneurs once again. So great job, everyone. Appreciate all of you coming out, all the mentors, sponsors, partners, supporters throughout today and throughout the program, and connect with each other. And as we wrap up here, make sure to meet anybody you want to meet. So appreciate all the great support.